Hello everyone. This is Hamza, and we'll try to learn medicine together here. The camera, I'll name it as Adam. So this is Adam, and I'll be teaching you, Adam, the medicine. So medicine is a very, very big field which contains numerous amount of information. So I'll try to in each video teach only 3 points. So we'll focus onto 3 points each video. That way we can limit ourselves and be able to focus on a niche amount of information and actually learn. The way that I choose teaching, because I saw that teaching is having 90% retention rate. So that's why I'll be just reading, and after that I'll start recording and just teach it out. Okay, so let's start. All right, so Adam, so let's make some rules about this filming and YouTube. First rule is the first shot is the only shot that I'll be doing, and secondly is I don't know, there's just only one rule. So I've divided the body into segments. That way we can in the future I can be able to visualize the body into different segments. So these are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So 8 segments. So again, there are 8 segments. All right. This is not written in anywhere, but I did it myself. So 8 segments, and each one will be divided into a separate video. So just remember 3 and 4. And between them there was 3, 2, 2, 3, 2, 2. All right, so this is the different joints in the body. So I'm gonna start with the 3 in the head. There are 3 joints in the head, or the head region. So the temporomandibular joint, and the atlanto-occipital, and the atlanto-axial joint. 3. And then coming down there, we're gonna have the shoulder and the sternoclavicular and the acromioclavicular joints. 3. And then 2 here and 2 here, the elbow and the radioulnar and the wrist and the hand. Back, and we're gonna have 4 in the thorax and the spine region. All right, so we're gonna have the costovertebral, the intervertebral discs, and the zygapophyseal joints, and then we're gonna have the costo sternal, which is in the okay, so the ribs will have 2 attachments, one in the back of the spine and one in front to the sternum. So the costovertebral in the back, the costosternal in front, and in the spine there was the intervertebral and the zygapophyseal joint. So here are the 4, and then 3 here, which is the sacroiliac and the pubic symphysis. All right, and also plus the hip. And here coming down we'll have the knee and the tibiofibular joint, which is also containing the proximal and distal. Here is also the radioulnar, having the proximal and distal. All right, and down there we're gonna have again the ankle and the foot. The foot and the hand contain many joints inside of them, but I'll just group them as the foot and the hand. All right, so 8 segments as this, 4 and 4. All right, but total, my classification of the joints will have 21 total joints. All right, so today we will be discussing this. All right, so the ankle and the foot. All right, so basically here's the foot, a frontal view. All right, so in this frontal view, so here there is the tibia, and always the fibula laterally. Fibula. This la, we'll use it again, laterally. All right. Okay. So, and then we're gonna have the talus. So talus. So actually, we can divide it into two segments. One that goes from the talus and continues, and one from the calcaneus and continues. All right, so the talus will have after that the navicular. So navicular, navicular. You can imagine it as being as a navigator. So the navicular, sorry for the spelling, the navicular will navigate into three parts. Just want to make sure this is the medial part and this is the lateral. So we're gonna have three cuneiform. So cuneiform, the lateral, medial, and intermediate cuneiform. All right, and then we're gonna have three metatarsal, and then this is the first. So from the navicular, we're gonna have the first and second and third metatarsal. So first, second, and third. From the lateral to the medial, there's the first and second and the third metatarsal. Okay, and then here is the phalangeals. So the medial segment. Here is the phalangeals. So an important thing to note in here is that the first phalanx has only proximal and distal. Doesn't have the middle. The rest has the middle. So proximal, middle, and distal. Continues into the three of them. All right. And in this part, we're gonna have the calcaneus. All right. So in the calcaneus, we're gonna have the cuboid. All right. So in order to actually remember them in the future, I'll have to connect it into my real life. That way, it's gonna stick. Just imagine, what are the chances that you remember something from 5 years ago? That would be very little. Only those moments that you connect it into your real life. So we'll start. Forget about the fibula and the tibia, just the bones of the foot, in order to memorize them in the future. So till noon. Till no milk. So till no milk. Till is for the talus, N for the navicular, and milk for the cuneiform. I know it's stupid, but milk for the middle, intermediate, and lateral, and C for the cuneiform. So milk, just milk as the spelling. And then here the calcaneus and the cuboid. So till no milk, and here these 2C, right? Calcaneus and cuboid. That's the bones. So in order for the bony landmarks, so for the landmarks, in order to check this part, the talus has 4 landmarks. So there is the medial and lateral tuberosity, tubercle. What else? There is also the posterior process. So basically, there is, for each bone of these, there is the head and the neck, right? But between them, there is also The talus, it has very small, something like a valley. So it's like a trochlear. So there is a trochlear as well. Trochlear. So trochlear, it's the top part, and the head and the neck, and also we're gonna have the middle and lateral, tubercle, and also we're gonna have a groove for tendon. All right, we're gonna have also a groove in the middle for tendon. So groove. So this is gonna be tubercle and groove. So if someone tells you what's the landmarks of the talus, there are the head, which is the part that connects with the navicular, and the neck, which is the thumbing back, and the trochlear. This is the articular facet, which connects with the tibia, and also there is going to be medial and lateral tubercles, and between of them there is the groove. All right, this is basically the talus: head, neck, medial, lateral tubercle, and groove, and trochlear. All right. So what about the calcaneus? Actually, the calcaneus, head and neck, medial, lateral, and the groove, and the trochlear. How many was this? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So the talus was having 5 landmarks. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. The calcaneus has also a couple of things. So there is the 6 things actually, or 5 as well. So in the medial aspect, so in this medial aspect, you will find sustentaculum tali. This is important in the medial aspect. Sustentaculum, all right? Sustentaculum. Sustentaculum tali. This is going to be having much of an attachment with the ligaments, and also we're going to have groove. Also the medial, there is going to be groove. Okay. Just to clarify, okay. And also we're going to have the tuberosity. In the back, we have tuberosity. The most important is sustentaculum tali. This is the most important. The sustentaculum tali. So these 3 things. Also, we're going to have process, medial and lateral processes, and the tuberosity. But also, we're going to have laterally. So laterally, we're going to have fibular trochlea. Fibular trochlea. Fibular trochlea. So again, 1, 2, 3, 4. 4. Let's make 4, and also processes. Okay, just make it 4. Okay, so sustentaculum tali in the medial aspect, and also in the medial aspect we're going to have the groove for something. Groove for the tendon of flexor, flexus, longus muscle. Just leave that shit. And also in the back we're going to have tuberosity and the fibular. The most 2 things: the sustentaculum tali and the fibular trochlea. Fibular trochlea. The sustentaculum tali. STTT. Sustentaculum tali. STTT. And the fibular trochlea. FTA. Alright? And the groove and porosity. Alright. Very much good. What else can we have in here? In each of the phalanx, there is the head and the base, all right? And also the body in the middle. The head basically, so just the phalanx, all right? There is the head. If we imagine this in here, the head and base. The base, which is the part that is connected to the body, base, and the head is the part, this is the base and this is the head. And the head is far from the head. So the head is far from the head. Base is near the head. Okay, head is far from the head. All right. So head is something that is very far from your head, and the base, it's the part that is closer to your head, and the main, and here is the body. All right. And we're gonna start. This is the first. This is the second phalanx. The third. We're gonna start the first from medial aspect. Always the big thumb and the big foot toe is the one that it's the first one. Okay. All right. So we also call the first one, the first finger, the hallux. Hallux and hallux. So in the foot, we're gonna call this the hallux. The hallux is the one, the big foot. It's called the hallux. Hallux. Pollex is the big finger of the hand. Both of them are the first one. So we start from the helix or the pollex, counting the digits with the hands and the foot. All right, and I think that's pretty much it. We cover the calcaneus, subtentaculum tali, and the fibular trochlea in the lateral aspect, and subtentaculum from the medial subtentaculum, the subtentaculum tali in the medial subtentaculum with the M, medial. The fibular trochlea with the L, fibular trochlea with the L, it's laterally, all right? And yeah. Also, we're gonna have some processes somewhere, everywhere. Sesamoid, there is also, in the first digit, there is sesamoid bones. All right? All right. Fibular trochlea, lateral view. The fibular trochlea, it's the fibular trochlea in the lateral aspect, and the groove, the trunk, and the body. Here's the calcaneus. Okay, you have the head, you have the neck, the neck. All right. So actually, in the talus, the head is the part that connects with the navicular, but the neck is the part, the bony part. Okay, meaning the body, and the trochlea is the articular facet which connect with the tibia, and also you have the lateral and processes. Okay, also you have tuberosity of the fifth digit. Actually, try to feel your fifth metatarsal bone. You will have a tuberosity. So here in the fifth digit, it is going to be a landmark which is called the lateral part. I mean, laterally, yes, laterally, you're going to have fifth metatarsal. Okay, and this fifth metatarsal you're gonna have a tuberosity. Just try to feel it. You'll immediately feel it. All right. Okay. So the trochlea of the tarsal. So let's cover it again. The trochlea. The tarsal. The talus. I'm sorry. Talus has 5 landmarks. The trochlea. This is the trochlea. And the head and the neck. Right. The head and the neck and the trochlea and also the posterior process. Let's make it 4 in the posterior process. Okay, and the calcaneus has the tuberosity and the groove and the substanticulum tali. The substanticulum tali, and in the other part is the fibular trochlea. Okay, in the body, that's all. Calcaneus has 4 as well. Okay, 4. Laterally, the fibular trochlea. Medially, there is the substanticulum tali, and we're gonna have also tuberosity. Okay. First, also gonna have tuberosity of the first metatarsal bone. You can also feel it. Okay, that's pretty much it for the landmarks. Let's go for the ligaments. Actually, let's do the joints first. In terms of, if someone asks you about the type of joints, so just remember this. All joints of your foot and ankle are plane, except there are exception of 5, except 5. Except 3 actually. So there is the hinge people, which are 3 things: the tail, the tibio-talar, which is the main one. This is the main one. This is the main one. Okay, tibio-talar, and the interphalangeals, PIP, proximal interphalangeals, and distal interphalangeals. These 3 are all hinge. So except 3 hinge and 1 condyloid, and 1 which is ball and socket. The condyloid is the metatarsal phalangeals. This is the one which allow the movement of your foot toes, or the toes of your finger. So basically that's why you can able to move your fingers in a lot of directions, just like this. You can move it up, down, and also just right and left. Condyloid for the metatarsal phalangeals, and metatarsal the TN, the talonavicular is ball and socket. Okay, so they're all plane, or joints are plane, except the main ones are hinge, which is the one that makes like this, tibio-talar, the main, and the PIP and the TIP. 3 are hinge, and one condyloid, which is the one that makes your toe fingers move. The condyloid, one condyloid, which is the metatarsal phalangeals, and one ball and socket, which is the talonavicular. All right. So now we finish the landmarks in the joints. Lastly is the ligaments. So when it comes to the ligaments, we can divide them into those that are found on the medial view, so the medial view, you're gonna have 1, 2, 3, 3 sets. Just a rule. So the tibia and the fibula. The tibia is dominant, so it always starts in the beginning. So tibio something, tibio calcaneal, tibiotalar, tibionavicular, tibiotalar. So it's dominant in its naming. But the fibula, so when we come to the lateral side, we're gonna have the fibula, and the fibula is in the end. So we're gonna have something called talofibular ligament. So talofibular, here tibiotalar, all right. So tibia is always in the beginning, and the fibula is always in the end, recessive. Okay, just this rule. Okay, so 3 sets. So we said 3 sets in the medial view. What are the 3 sets? So we have the medial collateral ligaments. So we have the medial collateral ligaments, which is composed of 3 things. This is the tibia and other bones. So we're gonna have 4. The tibiotalar, it's all start with a tibiotalar, tibiotalar, talar, and you have posterior and anterior, and the tibia calcaneal, and the tibiocalcaneal, tibiocalcaneal, tibiotalar, and the tibiocalcaneal, and the tibionavicular. So basically the tibia, you have to know that the tibia will make 4 ligaments. So 2 with the talus. So 2 tibiotalar ligaments, one which is posterior and one which is anterior. Okay, posterior tibiotalar and anterior tibiotalar. And then also which is around the talar, the tibia, it's the tibiocalcaneal. So tibiocalcaneal ligaments and the tibionavicular ligaments. Okay, so the talus with 2 bones, the talus and the calcaneus and the navicular, as we said. All right, so because the talus has these bones nearby, so that's why it makes these 4 ligaments, the medial collateral ligament. All right, and then the second set, ligament. So another name for the medial collateral ligament is the deltoid ligaments. Why is it called deltoid? Just comes all from the, so again, come back. So the medial Adam. Okay, so the medial collateral ligaments It's also called the deltoid ligaments. Why? Because it makes a triangle shape like the letter L, delta. Okay. And there are four: the tibio-talar, the posterior and anterior, and the tibio-calcaneal, and the tibio-navicular. Two are deep and two are superficial. Okay. So basically, the deep ones are the deep are the tibio-talar. These are deep, and the superficial is the tibio-calcaneal and the tibio-navicular. This is the superficial. So deep first is the tibio-talar, and the okay. So this is the first set. The second set, which is so this is called medial deltoid collateral ligaments. And the second thing is the tibio-talar, tibio-calcaneal, tibio-talar, tibio-talar, tibio-navicular, and tibio-navicular. Also, we're going to have the plantar calcaneonavicular, which is the spring ligament. The spring ligament. Some of the, I'll call them 1, 2, 3. So three ligaments. One line. This is the line ligaments. There are three, which comes in one line. So first one, by the way, the sustentaculum is this one. So the tibio-calcaneal, this is from sustentaculum. This is tibio-calcaneal from sustentaculum. From the navicular bone to the calcaneus, there is the plantar. So plantar, calcaneonavicular ligament, which is the spring. Plantar calcaneonavicular, and also medial calcaneo. So we're gonna start with the calcaneonavicular. So from this one, this is the medial malleolus, calcaneonavicular, plantar calcaneonavicular ligament, spring, and medial talocalcaneal, talocalcaneal, the medial talocalcaneal, plantar, posterior, medial, posterior, talocalcaneal. Alright? So the deltoid, tibio-talar, tibio-calcaneal, and tibio-navicular. The three lines. So the first one from the navicular to the sustentaculum tali, which is the plantar calcaneonavicular, and then the tibio-calcaneal. So it's like we can make it like that. Plantar calcaneonavicular and the talocalcaneal. The talocalcaneal, medial calcaneal anterior, medial and the posterior. Talocalcaneal navicular. So again, plantar calcaneonavicular and medial and posterior talocalcaneal. All right. Medial and posterior. So this is 3. What else can we have? I think that's all. Also, we're gonna have 3 in the back. 3 in the back of the bone. I'll make it here. So also 3 in the down of the foot. There are 3 ones. There is the short plantar ligament and long plantar ligament, and the plantar aponeurosis. Short plantar, long plantar, and plantar aponeurosis. That's all. 4, which is the deltoid medial collateral ligament, tibio-talar, posterior, anterior, tibio talar, calcaneal, and the tibio-navicular, and the line, 3 line, the plantar calcaneal navicular, and tibio calcaneal, the medial and posterior tibio calcaneal. This is the calcaneal navicular, plantar calcaneal navicular, spring ligament. And also we're going to have the talocalcaneal, the posterior talocalcaneal. Alright? 4 is the tibio calcaneal, tibio navicular, and tibio talar. Alright? Alright, so next is going to be about the contain 3 ligaments. This is the fibula, posterior. This is fibular, so fibular at the start. Calcaneal, fibular, talofibular, anterior, posterior, and anterior talofibular, anterior and posterior talofibular, and with the calcaneus, calcanofibular. Calcanofibular. The talus. Tibio posterior talofibular and the anterior talofibular and the calcaneofibular. Also gonna have tibiofibular. This is where you will be sure that why I call it always the tibia in the beginning and the fibula in the beginning. So we can have one which is here, tibiofibular. This is the anterior. Alright, that's all. So anterior and posterior talofibular, fibular and the end, talofibular, and the calcaneofibular. And I'm going to have also the anterior talofibular, tibiofibular. Anterior and posterior. So you can have anterior and posterior tibiofibular, anterior and posterior tibiofibular. And we're going to have talofibular, posterior talofibular, anterior talofibular, calcaneofibular, posterior tibiofibular, anterior tibiofibular, calcaneofibular. We're going to also have intraosseous talocalcaneal. Once you 5. Okay, 1, 2, and 5. Thank you so much for listening. And now we have covered everything. Thank you for listening and wish you have learned. Now we finish also that part. It's done. All right. We still have to cover all of that body.